this is Stacia, and we're doing a training game on chess.com. So it did start. They went d4, d5, and c4. We're facing the Queen's Gambit. And I have to admit, I really like the Queen's Gambit Accepted. So Kevin Blocker sold me on this. International Master Kevin Blocker. And I haven't looked back. I do love it now. I'm going to go a6 and threaten to go b5 and keep my pawn. That's why they went a4 to stop b5. And now I think just knight c6 is what I'm going to do. And now in the event of d5, I have knight to a5. And I'm still holding on to the pawn in annoying fashion. Okay, so e4, they are actually threatening to take now. So I'm going to simply play knight a5 and say, sorry, you're not getting that pawn so easily. So we're a pawn up, but my knight's on a5, which is kind of weird. Though the knight it turns out the knight's kind of like not bad on a5 at all. Like if b4, for example, we can take en passant. And so the knight kind of lives here annoyingly, guarding our extra pawn and also threatening to become active with knight b3. And I also, since the knight's not on c6, I can also play c5, get the knight behind that later. So the knight's actually good on a5, which is kind of hard to believe. All right, so they do have a nice center though, and well, generally, if your opponent has a nice center, you better have something for it, and we do. We have a pawn. Wow, rook b1. I have not seen this. So if b4 takes, I don't get it. When I play en passant, you know, I will gladly take that. I don't see the problem. So I'm pretty much going to ignore that and just go knight to f6, I'm pretty sure. And in the event of e5, you know, we can hop into d5. And I think I'm totally fine with that. Wow, they went f4. Okay, I like this player. I mean, it's like something I would do. It's not a good idea, probably, but all right. Well, f4. So what is the point of that, really? I guess they're just gonna play f4 and put their knight on f3, I guess. And I don't really see why I should be all that concerned. Are they actually planning like something like d5, followed by e5 then, to stop knight d5? That is possible. I mean, that feels like overextension to me, so I'm not going to worry about it. And I can also just play e6, which I think I will do. So if e6, knight to f3, I mean, it's fine. I'm still holding on to that pawn. It's annoying. e6 feels like the right move. I don't want to spend time on that one. I want to use my time at critical moments, and this doesn't feel critical. It feels like I can just play e6. It's always good to check that you're not losing when you play your normal move. But no need to overdo it, which is something that I will do if I have time in my clock. Okay, knight to f3. I did figure they would play this. Does that do anything, though? I mean, not really. They're just developing, and they're just saying, I have a really awesome center. Okay. So my development scheme is a little awkward because of my bishop on c8. Not the happiest bishop I've ever seen, but okay, what if I just go bishop e7, castle? I could go here. I don't really see the point though. Just bishop d2. The pin is really not anything. And if bishop d6, they fork me with e5. I just think this is the right square. We'll just do this. Yeah, so I have some students that played in a tournament today, and they made me proud, I gotta tell you. So I have a student named Abby who won $300, which is like, what the heck? I've never won $300 in one of those tournaments. Okay, I always play up a section, but still, if I did play my section, I'm not sure I would win $300. So, wow. Yeah, you know that feeling when you're an adult and you play kids over the board and the kids are annoyingly good at chess? Well, when you're a chess coach, it goes in opposite. It's like, yay, my kids are annoyingly good at chess. They can beat adults. Yeah, so it goes both ways, I guess. I was not expecting 95. So, do they have some sneaky plan I'm not aware of here? I mean, that is a good knight. It's attacking f7. I mean, is there something like takes, pawn push, kick my knight away, and queen h5? I just don't really believe that could work, but am I wrong? Let me think about this for a second. I mean, what if I just play rook f8, let them take my knight? No. Yeah, I could, and then queen takes, queen h5. Okay, I think it's fine. I'm not going to worry about that. I could just sack the piece back at the very least. I might have better. But how to proceed here? The move I would like to play is c5. Also, castle is an option. So I see if c5, they actually can press through. So I need to castle, I'm pretty sure. What will they do? I'm not sure. They might actually go f5. But I like that this stops any crazy knight f7 they might have been thinking about, but honestly, I probably should have invited that. That might not have been on the radar at all, you know? So I'm not gonna overthink that one. Now, are they gonna go g4? If they go g4, then I just love this opponent. Oh, I forgot they were attacking the pawn. I totally forgot that. Dang it. That was pretty lame on my part. I think I should go c5 now. Let them take my knight, but I can play queen takes. I mean, the thing is, the knight took, not the bishop. Now, if I take with the knight, the bishop gets developed. It comes to a good square. Decent square. But if I play c5, I get a move that I want to play. And c5, d5. Now that I'm castled, I think I can get away with something like takes. They take back, that's a passed pawn, but their king's in the center. Yeah, I think I'm totally fine with that. I'm going to go with c5. If they take, wait, let me check this. If they take, can I just take with the bishop? I mean, almost certainly I'd take their queen first. So let's go c5. And now I also defended the knight. So if takes, I will simply take with the queen. I think we're looking good. But I did mess up. I usually don't give the pawn back so easily, but I try to be maximum annoying. But on the other hand, we were up a pawn, now we're not. They had to waste 3 knight moves to get it back. So I'm kind of happy with that. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but I have a theory that a tempo is 1/3 of a pawn. So if you move like the same piece 3 times, that's kind of equal to a pawn. And you can see that theme in many gambit openings. like Evans Gambit, where you play b4, the bishop already moved once, it grabs a pawn, moves twice, and then you smack it with d4 and it moves again. And so, what, you know, like that's a theme. And I think you can tell, like, it's one way to tell if you're getting compensation in a gambit is if they have to waste 3 tempos, then that's equal a pawn, my opinion. Okay, but I'm using my own brain, very suspicious. But the other reason I think that is if you look at the engine evaluation at the start of a chess game, it'll give white like 1/3 of a pawn pretty much, like 0.2 or 0.3. And that's because white goes first. So 1 tempo equals 1/3 of a pawn. I think the story checks out, but chess is so complicated that, you know, of course that doesn't hold up for long. Because there's so many other factors that come into play. All right, I should be thinking about the game. So what are they going to do here? If they take my knight, queen a5, I'm pinning the knight on c3, which threatens knight takes e4. So I don't think they want to do that. So I think take on a5 is not the best. They could take on c5 by trade queens, not the best. If they play d5. d5 is desirable, but their king's in the center and mine isn't. And their bishop's still blocking. So I definitely think that the computer might not agree because they do have a center for the time being. But I feel like they are completely overextended here. I have one problem to solve though, and that's my bishop on c8. So what am I going to do with that bishop? I actually don't know. Usually playing b6 is a bad idea in the Queens Gambit Accepted. It's usually too slow, but here I actually do have some time. I mean, I could also just play b5 anyway. Could do that too. Take, and knight takes. I don't feel like that's the right approach, but it's not as bad as usual with the rook on b1. I don't know why that rook's on b1. I'm sure that rook b1 is a mistake. That was a really unusual and not... it was a move that did not come in handy. I think they just forgot about en passant. Because I had a pawn on c4 and I could just take. But maybe that b4 thing is a thing now? It's not right now. If before I take it. I'm confused why they're thinking so long. So while they're doing that, let's just check out their stats real quick. So they had a good run, but they lost the last game. Looks like they play a lot of rapid. See, I wish I did that. I want to do that. I think playing a lot of rapid, as long as I analyze my games too. And that's what slows me down a lot. But it could be that I'm doing it better than players like that by analyzing more. My coaches seem to think so. So I'm not gonna disobey my coaches, because otherwise, why am I paying them, right? If you're paying somebody to give you advice and coaching, then you should probably listen to what they say. See, the kids I teach, they have an excuse. They're not the ones actually paying. So when they challenge me and they say, I'm not doing that, okay, well, they're not paying for it. So it makes a little more sense than usual. And then I say, then I'll have to say something like, you must do this or you're banned. No, I'm just kidding. I actually tell them, well, make your own decision. That's what I say. But I'll make a case for my move. Okay, I don't think there's any other move we take there. Oh, okay. Discoveries are in the air. So, can I allow any discovery? No, I cannot. It looks like there's knight d5, threatening, knight takes e7 check. So that would be a thing. I was thinking about allowing it because, no. My idea was to take this, and I just realized it's defended. So I think we just move the queen, quite simply. Queen c7 is on an open file. Queen b6. I'm a little worried about something like d5 takes. There's no need to fear that. I think queen b6 is fine. I block my pawn though, and I do need to solve this problem with the bishop. If I go queen c7, honestly, queen d8 might be the move, because now they made that weaker. Queen d8 takes. Always retreat. If you're a beginner, this move probably looks a little weird, but I've seen it so often that the queen can retreat back to d8, and she's actually good on the square, usually. She's eyeballing a lot of squares from here. And given that my alternatives weren't very good, I think queen d8 is totally fine. I mean, I actually have a point to this. I am attacking that twice. If they go here, I mean, if you're going to play a pawn break, you're opening the position in chess. And if you're going to open the position, you should have the better development. You should have the better position, the more active pieces, better development. And that is not the case for white here. The white bishop is on f1. The rook's still in the corner. So if they want to play some kind of pawn break, I think I am very happy there. Just intuitively. Like, I'm not even calculating. I just know that I will have some threats, and they will be awkward because they have to play like some move with the bishop and castle, and then they're ready to counter. But oh man, I actually like my position here. Usually I'm the one that wants space, but okay, I'm probably gonna just take. Any reason not to take? If so, I don't see it. The most forcing move might be like e5. Knight d5, knight takes, queen takes. There's no crazy check with the bishop or anything. I think we're fine. Let's take that. Ah, b4. Okay. I mean, my first instinct is to take it, just because they're so behind development. But I think once the rook gets here, I don't see a way to like punish this. Yeah, I don't really see it. I want to get this bishop free. No, I also would love to move this knight and throw in queen h4 check, but after g3, I'm not sure we have anything. Unless I get my knight on e4, then we do. I mean, this move comes to mind. I have 7 minutes. Let's play this. It's the wooden shield, as Hikaru calls it. Hikaru Nakamura. Top 10 in the world. Maybe I mean, he's still top 5 right now, I think. He was like number 2 for a second, which is like kind of amazing. All right, I'm not afraid of the discoveries after knight d5. In fact, I think why wouldn't I do that? Looks good. I could also take this. If they take here, that's check. I got 2 pieces. So if I take and they simply take back, my knight's still hanging. I can even trade queens or play knight e5. It seems like the right move. But this is such a good piece. I also don't really want to give up my good piece. I bet you it's right, though. So then a bishop d7 with tempo. Giving up 2 bishops, too, though. Okay. I feel like my coach would tell me not to trade off that bishop. He says I trade too much. So let's follow my coach's advice. What a novel idea. I mean, when you are a chess coach, you're working with kids, it's like it's almost a surprise when they actually listen. It's like, wow, you actually listened. All right. It pays off for them almost always. Actually, it doesn't, because like sometimes I'll show them ideas and they don't have a full grasp of it yet, and then they might lose because they don't have a full grasp of it. So I feel bad when that happens. I was thinking queen takes here. You know what? There's something to be said for this, opening up my bishop too. Then my bishop could come to f5, but this is loose. I'm still going to play the natural move. I just think this looks right. So let's do that. I'm not worried about any kind of pin because my queen's actually protected and it's totally fine. All right, so in this position, I definitely want to go bishop d7, right? Are they going to go f5? So bishop d7, f5. I mean, I take that with check. How bad could that be? I think we're actually winning here, honestly. I don't think I have to play precisely. Let's get our bishop in the game. Put a rook on c8 with tempo. How about that? That seems good. Probably don't have to play like a genius. I gotta remember that. Like, I'm always looking for crazy tactics and crazy attacks and just moves that look weird. That's kind of unnecessary. I mean, I've met plenty of players that just play the normal moves, the correct moves, and that actually works out better for the most part. The reason I play the way I do, though, is that just trying to play like precisely and correct and boring is boring to me. It is a bit boring. They want to trade queens. Okay, but they'll trade queens and get their bishop in the game. I mean, that makes me want to just play bishop c6, but they have this move and takes. I mean, I can't be too unhappy about that, right? My rook's opening up. Their king's on e1. I could also just play check. They cannot go to a dark square or... Yeah, they can, actually. Check there. You know what's funny? Is if check and here, do I have check? That bishop is pinned. Oh, but when I take, it's unpinned. Okay. That's silly, so... I honestly could just take on a4 as well. I could just say, hey, look. That's a pawn. Then I can play bishop e5. Okay, I have 3 minutes. I gotta snap into blitz mode. Why would they want to trade queens? That feels so dubious. Because of the endgame? Maybe. It's an idea. Kind of like f6 here. Nah, maybe not. Okay, we're up a pawn. Trading's good when you're up a pawn. That was my bad bishop, so I'm kind of happy to get him, like, in the position. I kind of feel like they have to trade here. They're getting their king up, I see. King takes. Not sure what they're thinking about. Isn't that like the only move? What? Okay, so that's weak. I've got this 2 versus 1 over here. So this is my winning majority here. I gotta, okay. I'm definitely happy to trade. I'm a pawn up. That pawn though. Let's go here. Tax a pawn. Oh, I'm going to lose that pawn, huh? Well, my idea was this. Can I do that, though? B5 here? I think I can. His king's more active, so it's not... I'm not totally sure I'm winning. He also has a 4 versus 3, but that's... Yeah, there's that move. Okay, but I can attack his queen. Or king, rather. I gotta think about this for a second. Threatening mate. It's really unfortunate. I have to solve my back rank, so king of 8. Now, that's a good plan. They probably have to stop it. But they can take that, and push their pawn. I feel like my plan's faster. So I still like my position, but my inactive king is a worry. But the fact that their king is so active that it can't stop this pawn, that is, you know, that's something. Yeah, I don't know. Feels drawish. I'll be sad if I draw this game. I know I had a huge advantage at some point. Am I sure about that? I'm not totally sure. So they go there now. I mean, if they take check, skewer, and then I can go. I actually think they misplayed it a little bit. That doesn't feel right what they did. They let me protect that. Okay, so we're gonna go there apparently. So if here, but like, what are they threatening then? Whoa. I'm low on time, oh noes. I just have to play fast. Okay, I'll try. I feel like we're doing good here. Maybe they should protect that pawn. Or here. Yeah. It's kind of a good move. I'm blocking them. I don't know if that's right, but it feels like I don't want to let them do that, so. Now I'm thinking about this, something like here. Yeah. Still got them cut off. I don't understand. Isn't that good for me? Oh, this might be a draw. I didn't see that. Now it's probably a draw. I'm threatening check, so maybe they have to go here. Right there, takes. I'm still threatening that. Because, like, check here, check. They move out of the way. I can take that. I think I'm winning now. I think I'm winning because, like, if they take, I am going to play that check. Yeah, they have to do that. But now I have king e6. This seems good. This would be a good endgame for me to study because I don't ever get into endgames. So it'll be cool to see what the best play is here. I thought just king g7. But I have time to grab this and then come over here and then push my pawn, right? Wow, they resigned. I don't think they should resign yet. I'm still worried. Let's tell them good game. Okay, and I think I'm going to analyze this in depth, which means I need a little break. So I'll see you guys next time with the full analysis.